Everyone, today we're going to practice the TestNav mathematics tool. So on your desktop, you're going to click the TestNav icon, and this only works at school. If you are at home, you can go to the VDOE website and do the practice items and download the software. So we're going to be practicing math, the same thing as reading. We're going to go to only the SOL practice items. When you practice on the computer at school, you're not going to type your username and password here. You're going to click SOL practice items, and I'm going to always maximize my screen, and I'd like to go to Mathematics 2016. And for today, I'm going to go to just grade 3 mathematics. We're going to look at our screen carefully. On the real testing date, we're going to see welcome Kimberly Perry, or welcome Miss Carter, welcome Miss Hitz. This is just a practice name. John Doe is not a real person. On the real testing day, your name will be up here. It is important that you have your name at the top of your screen. If you don't, you need to raise your hand and let the teacher or adult know that it's not your test. And they will go over it with you during the real testing day. So we're going to start our test. I can see that there are 2 sections in this test and a total of 31 questions. That's kind of good for me to know, isn't it? Because I can pace myself and I can look, oh, what question am I on? I know what question I'm on compared to how many I have left. So I don't have to ask my teacher, how many questions are there? So I'm going to hit start. The test is going to have a terms and conditions. You need to agree. You need to agree that you're not going to cheat on the test, take pictures of the test, take videos, use cell phones, all of that stuff. So I'm going to click agree, and I'm going to click continue. Section 1 has 14 questions. And I'm going to start. Okay, let's look at some of the tools we can use for math. So I'm going to start always reading the directions. I like to read the directions at least 2 or at least 3 times. It's so important to know what the question is asking. If you don't know what the question is asking, you're not going to answer it correctly. So I'm going to read my directions, maybe to myself, so I don't distract others. Drag the answer to the correct boxes. Okay, so this is a drag and drop type of question. To highlight keywords, which is super important. Are we going to highlight the entire text? No, we're going to highlight words that will help us remember or help us answer the question correctly. So drag the answers. So instead of the boxes or something, they're looking at the answers. So my answers must be over here. Drag the answers to the correct boxes. Now, I'm not done reading. Label the place value position for the digits 3 and 0 in this number. Label the, so we're going to be labeling the place value. Oops, I didn't highlight. Let's go back there and highlight that. So we got a label for the digits. The 2 important digits must be 3. I'll highlight it blue, and also 0. I'm going to reread my directions again because it's really important to make sure I understand. Drag the answers to the correct boxes. Label the place value position for digits 3 and 0 in this number. Now I can look at my number. Maybe I want to highlight that. Here are the questions down here. The place value position for the digit 3 is, I better go look at my number. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to look at my number. Does anyone in my live audience have the answer? The place value position for the digit 3. Say it right here.
10,000.
10,000. So my little helper is going to take the 10,000 box and move it over. Let's look at the next part of the question. Then I'm going to go back and review because I just want to make sure I answered it correctly. Right now I'm doing a think aloud. This is something that you can do on the day of the SOL. The place value for the digit 0 is
100 place.
the 100th place. So we're going to drag the hundreds and we're going to plop it in right there. So that is a drag and drop. All the questions are not going to be a drag and drop question. So let's go to another question. Up here, just like in the reading, you have your backwards arrow to go back, your forwards arrow to go forwards. So let's go forward. Oh, this question is different. We're not going to answer every question, but look, the directions in this question say type your answer in the box. So I'm going to put my cursor, my arrow, and type my answer, whatever it is. You need to type the exact answer for it to be right. Can I use other tools? You can. Is a ruler necessary? Not on this one. But you know what? I struggled a little bit on this question. So I am going to bookmark it if I'm allowed, and then move to the next question. For this question, we might want to use other tools. For example, you might want to use the pencil. So when I click on the pencil, I can also change how thick I want to write. Now, for this, you can only write on this image part. You can't write down here. So I might write, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I want to see that there are 5 boxes. And then when I go back and review, I can see my numbers up there. So all I'm doing is using the pencil and I'm writing my numbers, but I need to stay in this image box. Now I'm going to count how many cherries are in each box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, so there's 8 cherries in each box. So I might write a note here, 8. Just to kind of help me. I might also make a mistake. So what if I made a mistake? Maybe I said a plus sign. That's not what I really wanted to do. So if you click the eraser, I can go back and erase that. Oops. Come on. I just need to click on it. I got that one and that one. So I'm going to get my pencil tool back and I'm going to do times 8 cherries times how many boxes. I'm going to count. I'm going to double check again. So this is an example of how to use the pencil. Can you still highlight? Sure. Best represents the cherries. I have my pink highlighter. Now, we're going to look at the answer eliminator. The answer eliminator reminds me of slash the trash. So you can X all the answers out that are wrong. If you make a mistake, you click back on the X to remove the red X, and then you can correct your answer. This is a drag and drop. So I would move the numbers for my answer choice. If I made a mistake, I can move them out. Look at this question. This is a cool one. Directions. select the play button to play the model. The model shows a multiplication fact. So on this question, I would click this little play button. I would watch the tiny little video clip. I look, I study. If I need to watch it again, I would. Which multiplication fact is shown by the model? I would probably go back and watch that video again. I would also highlight the question. This model shows a multiplication fact. That's really important. And when we get to the end of section 1, there are 13 questions that I didn't answer, or 1 question that I bookmarked. If I didn't answer questions, it'll show up here. Can I submit my answers? No, because I cannot submit a test with questions that are not answered. Okay, so we can use the review button above to go back and review your answers, and then when you're done, use the submit button below to submit your answers.